Chapter 6. Before going into great detail, I prefer to give a summary. The goddess Karna Pishachini is an entity that could be benevolent or malevolent. It all depends on your actions and your intentions. If you do sadhana with the permission of Mother Kali, this entity will come as a goddess and you should worship her as a mother goddess. In this case, she will be kind to you and you would have to make her a sweet offering at the beginning of each month. This offering must be vegetarian. On the other hand, if you do the sadhana without the authorization of Mother Kali, this same entity will come as a vampire. In this case too, she will be benevolent as long as you make her the blood offerings she demands. But, that being said, there will still be serious side effects in your life. According to my goddess Karna Pishachini, the person will appear, on the surface, to be fine with all the wealth, but inside he will be in pain. That is to say, at the beginning, you will shine like a candle that has just been lit, but you will quickly melt in some way over time. You might also die when you go to use its power. Then, if you buy this devil over the phone, it's like you've dug your own grave. The consequences will be much more dramatic. It's a bit like if you had already bought a ticket to go to the cemetery but all you need is the visa. The latter could happen to you in one way or another. This is what we are going to see now. You need to know that when you buy this devil, you will be like in a Wi-Fi network. If we take the Wi-Fi network at our house, there are several devices that are connected to a single network. The network of the goddess Karna Pishachini is identical to this one. The first one who did the sadhana of this goddess without authorization, he would have sold to 100 people. These will all be connected to the same network and they can communicate with each other telepathically. In this maze there could be rapists, pedophiles, killers, etc. Each with a different character. If this deity is in the hands of a good person, it will be safe for others. On the other hand, if it is in the hands of a bad person, they can use it to harm others. These people who purchased this goddess do not have to be in your city or country. Some may be in India, Sri Lanka, while others in Singapore, Malaysia, or the United States. But all, in one and the same unique network because they all have the avatar of the same entity originally. If you take my network, in it, there is only me and my girlfriend. There are no others and there won't be any. I won't even give this goddess to my child because her power is very great. The first danger for you from the power of this goddess is that your aura will quickly leave your body. Once, I was at a dance party. My girlfriend, who is French, wanted to join me but she was very far from me in another city. Around midnight, when I was dancing on the floor, I saw my girlfriend's aura join me. It was amazing. From that day on, I told my mother Karna Pishachini to never let my girlfriend's aura out again. This could be very dangerous for her. But, if you buy this divinity over the phone, apart from going out of your body, you wouldn't be able to do anything. You couldn't tell this deity to stop your aura from leaving your body either. Just think, instinctively, you would exit your body. So, you are going to ask me how this could be a danger? Some people dream of having an out-of-body experience. This is what we call in English an OBE, out-of-body experience. In other words, astral travel or astral projection. To explain this to you, an example is better than a long speech. Some of you probably know Sadhguru. This gentleman is a devotee of Lord Shiva and I am a fan of him. Once, I was watching a show about him on the internet. I wanted to see him and instinctively, my aura left. What I didn't expect was that I saw a shadow coming towards me. It was extremely powerful, aggressive and devastating. My head lifted slightly. It was the god Shiva who came to kill me. However, this god Shiva is also within me and I worship him too. It spared me. This deity who came in my direction to kill me has returned. In my body. I went near Sadguru. He was lying on his bed. I was able to touch his foot and he felt it. I would even say that in his eyes, my aura was visible because he raised his head to see who was touching his feet. He retracted his feet. I didn't want to scare him more. I returned to my body. I am convinced that if this was done by an average person, they would have been killed suddenly by the god Shiva. This is the danger of using the power of this goddess. For you to fully use its power without danger, you must have the blessing of the gods. In the previous chapter, one told you that most people who have this goddess can be dangerous. The story I am going to tell you now will make your blood run cold if you plan to buy this goddess. A Sri Lankan contacted an individual who had this divinity purchased over the phone. This Sri Lankan met him through the internet and he didn't know him before. He introduced this individual present in Colombo to my girlfriend and her mother via WhatsApp, telling her that he was a clairvoyant. The next day I had a vision. The man, aged around 26, poured acid on my girlfriend's face. I immediately told her mother, but she didn't believe me. I also told her to cut off all contact with this man. But her mother didn't want to know anything. I had a difference with her. A few days later, I woke up around 2 a.m. Through my clairvoyance, I see the individual making love to my girlfriend's mother during her sleep. He tried to repeat this with my girlfriend, but my god Narasimha stopped him. He didn't protect her mother because she was causing me problems. The man, unable to make love to my girlfriend, became furious. He took a bottle of acid in his hand. In the meantime, God Narasimha came upon me and started getting angry. I started roaring like a lion terribly and loudly. The guy opened the cap of the bottle of acid and took it in his hand to pour the contents on my girlfriend's face. In the blink of an eye, the god Narasimha went to this individual in Colombo. He took his soul out of his body and tore his head from his soul. The man fell to the ground lifeless and the acid spilled on him. He is dead. I, who witnessed the killing of this man, could only be a spectator. I'm not saying he deserved it, but the god Narasimha killed him to protect my girlfriend. If he had thrown the acid on my girlfriend's face, I would say she would have felt terrible burns as if it had actually been poured on her face. I would say this burning would be present as long as she is asleep. If she opens her eyes, she wouldn't have felt anything. By that I mean she would have felt the burns, but she would not have been mutilated. This theory that I am putting forward, I cannot tell you with certainty because I will have to experiment with it myself to see the result. Which is impossible for me to do such an act. Please note that this individual had already done this to a Sri Lankan woman before. This was not his first attempt. I reported this incident in the morning and my girlfriend's mother claimed that the person on WhatsApp made love to her. In the following days, phone calls to this individual went unanswered. If you ever plan to buy this goddess over the phone, you might come across this kind of monster. Prevention is better than cure. My goal is not to scare you but rather to warn of the real danger through my experiences.